everyone, this is Sunna.
And this is Johannes.
And you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings.
And today we are taking a look at Ticket to Ride Legends of the West Legacy version by Matt Leacock, Rob Daviau and Alan R. Moon.
It is published by Days of Wonder and it is a 12-game campaign.
This copy was given to us by Asmodee Nordics, which would be obvious probably because it's not possible to buy the game yet.
That's right.
We got the game quite a long time ago and we have now played the whole campaign of 12 games and we are going to tell you all about it. First of all, I have to say that this is going to be a non-spoiler review. We will not tell you any specifics of what happens. We will not tell you any specifics of the story or any game elements that changes. What we will do is tell you about our feelings of them. We will tell you how we felt with the different things. We will not go like in game 4 we felt this, in game 5, but we will tell like an overall what we felt about the story, the changes, the new rules, and all of that without spoiling what is in there. Obviously, as we say in all of these kind of campaign game reviews, if you don't want to know anything about the game, or then you probably should not watch this video.
The pictures that you will see in this video are from the first game that we played, so game 1. That means that no spoilers will be in the pictures as well.
So Ticket to Ride is a game that's been out for many years in extremely many different versions, and we kind of never loved the game.
No, I'm no fan of Ticket to Ride, but we played multiple versions, and the last game we played, Ticket to Ride, the Anniversary Edition, I had quite fun with that.
It was the same game as it always been, but it looked better.
Yeah.
but basically, like, Ticket to Ride always felt like a bit, I think you agree with this, like it was a bit much luck.
Yeah.
And I know that people can play the game like again and again and again, learn all the tickets and play more aggressively like that. But it was basically, it felt a bit like you draw cards and you play the cards. And it was like a race, which was fun, but not a game that we loved.
Yeah.
But what we do love is legacy games.
Yes. And then we were very excited for this. We are very fan of opening boxes and seeing how a game changes.
That is one of my favorite things, like the reveal and opening up and seeing what is going on. We're going to divide this review in kind of 4 parts. It's going to be mechanisms, it's going to be story, it's going to be progression, which is kind of like what changes up in the game and what we thought about the things that happened, and luck, which is going to be a part of Ticket to Ride. Let's start talking about mechanisms. We cannot really talk much about like the things that's changing. We're going to talk like a bit about feelings of it. But how much does, like the first game then, how much does it differ from normal Ticket to Ride?
Well, it is a Ticket to Ride game, which that the main mechanisms are the same, which is to be expected.
Yes.
The main difference is that you no longer get points when you build routes that you do in the original game.
Yeah, that is like the main point, and also the goal of the game is to score dollars.
Yes.
And you get dollars from tickets, like you got points in the original, and also can get it from various ways throughout the campaign. The other change is that sometimes in the train deck you will also be drawing these newspaper cards, which will then tell you to draw an event. And there will be some events in the beginning, and there might be other events added later on. Other than that, we can't really talk about this. Is like all of these like legacy game reviews is kind of like weird because we can kind of say things and then we can't kind of say things. So let's say kind of things about the story.
Yes. I don't need a good story to enjoy a game, but it certainly helps. I love
a legacy game. You mean?
Yeah, any game, but legacy games as well. But I really like a good story as well. And here in the beginning, it seems like they introduced us to a beginning of a story that I was like intrigued by. But then, sadly, it seemed like kind of they forgot that they were telling a story.
Yeah.
And some games, the feeling I had was, wasn't there a story here? I can't remember what we were doing, and that isn't something that I was a fan of.
And also one of the things I was excited about, as you said, was like to discover the story and how they would implement the story into a Ticket to Ride game. And they kind of did, and they kind of didn't.
Yeah.
I would have liked it better than if they just went with no story and just like a setting, like this is what you're trying to do. And it's kind of in the middle. It's kind of like we all agreed that we played 4 players all the way through, and we kind of agreed, all of us, that we were kind of like, Why isn't there a bit more? We cannot like tell you where it happened, what happened, all of that, but kind of somewhere along the line it faded into obscurity and kind of maybe came back.
Yeah, but we were overall disappointed of the lack of story in this game.
Let's talk about the progression, like what happens, and this is going to be very feeling based because we can't say anything. We cannot tell you a single thing that happened in the game, so we will try not to tell you a single thing. As you can see from pictures of the game, when you open up the box, from the few pictures that we show you, another change is that you're going to start on a very small map, and it's made out of puzzle pieces, and it's not going to be a spoiler to tell you that there will be more puzzle pieces to add to the two. We cannot tell you when, we cannot tell you how, but you will be adding things. And there are these boxes in the game box, boxes in a box called frontier boxes that you will be opening at some point in the game, and that will kind of like add new map pieces and also new rules to the game.
Yes, and the boxes and the additional rules felt to us like small mini games implemented into the core main game, adding little touch and tweaks and like giving us something else to focus on in addition to the original Ticket to Ride rules.
Yes, and some of them were really fun. I will say that. Some of them I really enjoyed. Some of them are like, meh. And I don't think there was any I didn't like, except for like a luck factor, which we're going to talk about. But I enjoyed all the ideas. I think that these designers had a lot of fun coming up with these. Also coming up with what goes to what place, what happens here, what happens here. And also the fact that you can... It's possible, I'm not going to say how, but it's possible to kind of open these up in a random order, so it's not like a forced thing. And that is kind of probably also one of the reasons maybe why the story kind of died down, because it's not on rails.
That's true.
That was not intended.
That makes sense.
But yeah, so I feel like most of them were fun, and it was fun opening up. There's one thing that we opened up, I cannot say what, I cannot say when, but it was like one of the most fun reveals I have had in a Legacy game ever.
Yeah, that was really
my
fun.
favorite part, that's probably my favorite part of the whole game.
Yeah.
Is opening up that and being like, that is the coolest thing I have seen in a board game.
Yes.
And you're probably going to understand what it is if you play it.
Yeah, because it makes perfect sense, but I did not see it coming at all.
Never would have seen that coming, and I love that. When all that is said, Ticket to Ride is a game of luck. And we know there's strategy. Don't call and say like there's strategy in Ticket to Ride. We know there is, and it makes sense. And I agree that there's strategy there. But there is also a lot of luck. You need luck with the drawing of the cards. You need luck with the tickets you get in the beginning. You need luck when you draw tickets throughout the game. And almost every single thing added throughout the campaign also adds more luck.
Yes, and that is not a part of this game that I'm super happy about, because some of the additions to the game made the game more frustrating sometimes than fun. Adding all these extra things with adding even more luck to an already a little too much luck for me base game.
As you have seen, we have made a video that's named Why We Hate Luck. So you might guess that this might have been too much luck for us, especially probably for me, because you were on the right side of the luck. And some of it, and I will say, I lost the campaign horribly. I will say some of it is that I played worse than you.
Yeah.
And that is fine.
Yeah.
That is okay. I played bad. I did horrible things that had things that happened and I didn't do well. But other than that, I also had a lot of bad luck with things that happened. It's so weird. I cannot say
with
like
all the things
I had
that
bad
might
luck
have
when
happened.
this happened. I had bad luck on that.
Yes,
I had bad luck
and
with
especially
this.
with that.
Oh yeah, and also this thing that happened when we were in the 8th game and that happened on that, and in this on the 9th and that on the 10th was kind of like, wow, that's so unlucky. And people were like, wow, you're so unlucky, Johannes. But yeah, so some parts of the game was more frustrating than it was fun for me.
Yeah.
So we're gonna kind of do we're gonna do the final thoughts, but before that, it's kind of like the kind of summary of was it fun, and who is it for?
It was fun. But
Sometimes.
sometimes, and I think we both felt like we had the most fun in the beginning and the most fun at the end.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of stuff happening in the middle there that everything was not that fun. But I think that we going into the who is it for category.
I want to say something.
Yeah,
I want to say
go.
one thing. The thing I want to say is that I enjoyed every reveal. I enjoyed every new thing that came into the game. I liked the ideas, I liked the concepts, but in execution it added too much luck for me.
Yeah.
So I. Do you agree with that? Like
Yes.
every time I was like, oh, that's a fun thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice thing. Oh, that sounds cool. How are they going to implement that?
Yeah.
I liked all of the reveals, but all of them didn't work for me.
Yeah.
So who might they work for?
I think that if you enjoy in Ticket to Ride, in the Ticket to Ride games more than we do in general, this might be for you. I also think that it's really nice to have a legacy game where you can have different people with different set of skills or different experience in gaming, and you can come together in this legacy game like Ticket to Ride have brought people together in so many years. So I think that they really are targeting the audience that already have enjoyed Ticket to Ride.
And that makes perfect sense, basically.
Yes.
And I love that. I love that they didn't say, like, how can we make this more heavy for hardcore people and everybody plays Ticket to Ride. I know that's not what I mean. But I really love that. I love that they said, this is the weight of Ticket to Ride. Let's make this legacy game. It's going to be like, maybe just a tad bit more because of like there might be like 4 different rules you have to remember what happens here and there. But it's the same level, and with the luck it adds, it's perfect for families.
Yeah.
So like the group that this is for is gonna love it, and I absolutely think that. You might say like, why are you saying this? Because I mean it.
Yeah.
Because this game is a good game for the people who like the game, or for the people who enjoy these kind of games. So with all of that said, let's go into the final thoughts. But before we do that, if you are still here and you enjoy what we do here on the channel, you can help us out in a big way. It's so simple for you, but so huge for us, by giving us a victory point.
Yes, and we get victory points when you click that subscribe button down there. You can also click the bell to get notifications every time we post a new video.
Final thoughts time for Ticket to Ride Legacy Legends of the West from Days of Wonder.
Overall, I'm happy to have played it. I think it was a fun experience for our gaming group that we played it with.
Yeah.
Sometimes I was just like, do we need to finish this game? Because in the middle stretch there, I was a little tired of just playing the one game with them every time we get together. But overall, I'm happy we finished it. It was fun to experience the different takes on the additions to the base game. I thought that was fun. And overall, I was intrigued by the different mechanisms that they tried to add. And I was a little disappointed about the story that I thought was going to be a bigger implementation to this game that it ended up being. Overall, I appreciate the game for what it is, but it's not for me. That means that I think that there will be a lot of fun to be had with this game. But unfortunately for me, I didn't have all the fun that was potentially to be there. Yes, that was my final thoughts. Oh, I'm rating it as well. I have forgotten about that.
Like every single game we review, you're like, why are you not taking over?
That was a weird review to make because we can talk so little about the game. You can talk so I can think about my rating.
But the problem with that is that I was going to say, I agree with everything you say, and that was going to be my final thoughts.
Oh no!
But yeah, I agree with what you said. Like I had times where I had a lot of fun. I had times where I was super frustrated, but I really mean it. It's very easy to say like, oh, we didn't like it, but it's for other people. But here I really mean it. Like this is a game, I think everything they did was interesting, smart, fun, but the luck factor, basically that's it. Like the big luck factor is what made it not fun for me sometimes. So are you ready with your rating, or should I do my rating first?
Yeah, let's do your rating first. Let's switcheroo it a little bit.
It's hard. It's kind of a hard game.
Yeah, because I have a number in my head, but I'm curious to hear.
I think I am like, if I were to rate Ticket to Ride, I think I would have rated it like a 6.5 or a 7.
Oh, yeah.
And I
would
think
not.
no, but after the core game here and the core game we played in
Yeah,
Europe
yeah,
last
yeah.
time,
Makes
a
sense.
6.5 or 7, and this is gonna be like the same.
Yeah.
Because I enjoyed, like, what is it? Like, I enjoyed many things of it, but if I were to play Ticket to Ride after playing it, I would play normal Ticket to Ride.
Makes sense.
There is like a version you can play after you're done, but probably not going to do that. So I think I'm going to land on a 6.5 for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I'm going to rate it a 6. I think that that was curious if I like this better than the base game. Like for playing more, I would choose the
obviously.
base game. Yes.
So yeah, that is the game. Also with rating from Sunniva after
Haha.
she. Remember that rating is something that we do here on the channel. Only
Oops.
done it for 16 years. And that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm Johannes.
I'm Cinema.
And you have been watching Board Gaming Ramblings. And bye bye.